Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. And to some of you, please go to sleep because you really don't need to hear some of this stuff, especially you young people. Go to bed.
Before you go to bed, press the like, subscribe, and notification bell.
You understand what he said? Please press the like. That means you like us. Notification. I don't know why that. What is that?
Well, it lets them know every time we come on the air with a new show, they'll be notified that it's available to them.
Okay, this is Chief OBDK and my co-host
Joel.
Joel Spears. Yeah, that's a man like to spare. And we are now introducing our new co-host,
Junebug.
Junebug. Hello, Junebug. Say hello to the world. Hello, world. How you doing? Apparently, some people are having problem texting us and they giving us their impressions. So if you have something that you would like to text, comments, send it to Junebug here at the New Harbor Studio to let's talk about it.com. Let's talk about it.com. This is Junebug. Say hello, Junebug. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Go ahead. Say hello again.
Hello, Chief. Hello, Joel.
Hey, Junebug.
Hello, Junebug. There we go. Welcome to let's talk about it. So, now that we have introduced Junebug, we have an awful lot to talk about, Joel. There's an awful lot that's happened over the week. Since last Sunday, those who tuned into our show, I'm sure that you enjoyed it because there's quite a number of you who have responded, and we appreciate that very much. From last Sunday to here today, 7th, what is it? Where are we? 2024.
Yeah. Planet Earth.
Yeah.
It's the 4th.
Yeah, we're going to be talking. There's been a lot going on around the world. First of all, you got all the demonstration going on in Africa. One of it is in Nigeria, and the other one is in Kenya, where the younger generation is saying, you old folks, you get out the way. We want to take over the world. We're taking over the world.
Yeah, so I think the world has changed from when you and I were growing up. Everybody in real time can see what's going on in other parts. And I think that the younger generation is more aware of their situation, more so than we were when we were living in our isolated communities before, social media. They sit back and they're like, I never thought about that. And it's coming from literally in real time, other parts of the world, the U.S., South America, Europe, Asia. Everybody's listening. And I think that threatens governments even.
Well, you're demonstrating around the world to the very same people that are ruling the world.
Yeah.
You're asking old folks to change their stripes. Is that possible? Because they don't seem to have a plan B or a plan C with the demonstration. Plan A, demonstrate. Plan B, we don't know.
Well, like I said, I remember when people would move into my neighborhood from just 20 miles away, and they literally had almost a different viewpoint of the world because of where they were in their communities. They had, there was limited conversation between your friends. Now it's a global community. So things that are going on in real time in America, in Europe, Asia, Africa, you literally have a global community that's never existed before. So,
global community, folks. That's what Joel is saying that we have. Well, apparently, those from the refugees from South America, from Asia, from Africa, from Congo, has been mentioned before. There's quite an awful lot of Congolese that are coming into America through the refugee process. And, in the tune of 15 to 20 million people. That's an invasion. Any country without some kind of defense or some kind of protection for the citizens of that country, and all of a sudden you get 15 to 20 million people coming into your country, Joel, that's an invasion.
I'm conflicted because of this one thing. In New York, you have the Statue of Liberty. And chiseled on the pages of the Statue of Liberty is, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. So we have this open invitation. Was that for everyone, or was it for a specific European crowd?
Well, I don't know if they wanted the poor rather. And I don't think they went on. I think that, excuse that term. Sorry, my friends. But the huddled masses, you're hungry. I mean, America can hardly feed itself. How are you going to try to bring in 15, 20 million people, and we don't have an infrastructure, an agricultural system, we have. Look at the price of gas. Where are they going to get the money when they get here?
Well, the question is, what is the motivation and the reason for this influx? Obviously, we all are suffering around the world with inflation. The United States is printing dollar bills as fast as they can in the trip.
Any way they want. Free printing, just it.
I read a report that if you purchased something for $100 in the 1920s, where most of our great-grandparents are now, that $100 bill is now worth $10 today. So we've lost
toilet paper.
We've lost 90%
of the value of the dollar.
Of the value of the dollar.
That's not good.
So yeah, how do you survive off of that?
I don't know, but let's see who did it. Oh, okay, could be the Democrats. Oh, I mean they're spending money, they're printing money willy-nilly.
Yeah,
and they're spending money anywhere. They're spending all, giving people. They're coming in here, thousands of dollars, places to stay. I mean, what's the purpose? What's their mission?
Gosh, that is such a confusing, because on the dark side, the Democratic Party has always believed, just take money, print money, make sure it gets into the hands of people, not solving problems, but making a dependent class.
Creating a dependent class.
Yes.
We're going to be touching on that dependent class that the Democrats are trying to build, and voting class dependent. So, I like the way that you sometimes put that, Joel, about that, welfare.
Welfare is a blessing and a curse, because it's not meant to be a permanent way of life. If you start having third, fourth, and fifth generation welfare, what does that do?
Well, it makes a bunch of lazy people that can't do anything at all. Useless. Innovation is not good. Education is not good. I mean, just, it wasn't meant to be permanent.
So there's a great number of Black communities, unfortunately to say this, that are dependent on government's programs. There's now a concern that the immigrants are now competing for those dollars.
So Uncle Sam is no longer Uncle Sam. That's Daddy Sam. Daddy Sam. Daddy. Everybody's coming to the United States now. Any way that you call, Uncle Sam died a long time ago, but you're coming to see Daddy Sam, and his name is Biden. Well, let's go to Biden. So let's go to. Kamala Harris. Let's go. Let's just get to the real nitty gritty. Was Biden kicked out? Was this a coup d'etat American style?
I think so. Everything points to that. When you look at his resignation, whenever we've ever had a major event involving the national situation, what does the president do? We interrupt and he would come up in that podium and he would announce whatever the issue is. I mean, he resigned on, what is it, Instagram?
Yeah, Twitter.
Twitter. how in the world is such a monumental situation going to be just released? So I was suspicious that that just isn't the protocol. That's not the way that presidents have ever announced major decisions to the American.
And the major decision that you're referring to is his resignation.
Yeah, it was almost as though somebody did it for him, that he wasn't really there. It was drafted, signed, and sent out in an unofficial capacity.
This is it's a shame and embarrassing for a country that is bent on selling democracy to the rest of the world. And somehow it seems not to be working. Every time the Democratic Party gets in the office, they seem to want to go to a foreign country and sell democracy. But right here at home, democracy is not really democracy.
Well, when you talk to some of the people who are, scholars of democracy, they will tell you that the United States is a republic. And if you were to look at the founding documents, you never see anything in the Constitution saying the word democracy. So,
that is true.
With that being said, are we a democracy or are we a republic? Now you get into the finite details of, we have a representative government, but is it a pure democracy?
Well, if it's a pure, no, I don't think so. Not in the sense of what has been sold to the American public or what democracy is. There is a process in that democracy, but it doesn't seem to be working here. I don't understand why it does not work. Why is democracy not working in America?
We've always had the ruling class. We don't like to think of it that way. But now that the middle class is shrinking fast, it becomes more glaring that you have those at top who are ruling, and then those at the very bottom who are vulnerable and guided by the people at the top. And the middle class was also being pulled along, but they felt that they had, a better lifestyle, things that they could do to consider themselves free, even though they aren't.
Well, they try to go to the upper class, and the upper class said, "No, how you doing, Bob? Junebug, are you still here? Don't go to sleep on us now, Junebug. You got anything to say right now, Junebug?"
No, just listening right now, Chief.
You're listening. Okay, welcome to Hey, Let's Talk About It here at the New Harbor Studio. Well, let's go on to Trump. I wanted to talk about Donald Trump for a second. Donald Trump went to Harrisburg, and I don't know if my our engineers have the pictures, but I took some pictures with Donald Trump's female lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, feisty white woman. Wow. I'm sorry if I make reference to what she is, because she attacked Kamala Harris in a manner that I have not heard. And she's lucky that Donald Trump. Oh yeah, look at that. This is a guy that I took a picture with. He's a person that says, "Build a wall," and his uniform is all about the wall. And really nice guy. He's been to a lot of rallies. There's about 3 or 4 people who have been to so many rallies. One of them I've been over more than 200 rallies. Or 2 or 3 of them. They just been to so many rallies. It's unbelievable. But it's a wonderful thing. The place was completely packed, Joel. I've never seen so many people everywhere in that stadium. It was completely full. Just so, from wall to wall, up and down, outside. The talk about whether Donald Trump is really getting the people at his rally, I, for one, can tell you quite clearly, he's got a lot of people at his rally.
The Democrats have a response. They have decided to, although this is Kamala's, what would you call it, interview, they're still not decided as to whether she's going to be their full nominee. So what they're doing is they're starting with what I call the Black Girl Magic campaign.
The black who?
The Black Girl Magic.
Uh-oh.
So
Here comes Joel with a black hole. You call it
Black Girl Magic.
black girl magic. What in the world is a black girl? Go on, black girl,
Yeah.
with your badass self, with your magical self. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Tell us what the black girl magic is all about.
Well, I'm a male, so I'm not supposed to represent or explain it. So, but I will tell it from my understanding as a man. Forgive me for being one.
No, you ain't. You ain't got to be forgiven for that. You know, you're a man. You're a man.
You know, we had the Black is Beautiful campaign.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. We are.
That
Oh, yeah.
campaign has evolved for the black female. The black female.
Sorry about that, Junebug. You know, we know you brown.
Brown gets down.
Brown gets down. You all right, bro? Go ahead. Bro.
So, so think of it this way. Okay, we had the Black is Beautiful campaign where we were unsure about ourselves and our position in this country and all the racism and ceilings that were prevented us from evolving and becoming a productive group. Black women are now moving into executive positions and are kind of moving into a position where their hair is still a controversial thing. You know, they're wearing braids and their supervisors are coming and saying, why are you wearing that? And why are you wearing those clothes or speaking in ways?
White supervisors.
Yes. So it was kind of a rally cry that was saying that, look, you cannot belittle me. You cannot say things that are hurtful, that you have to understand that I matter. And it's good and it's bad, because obviously you can take a defense and make it a weapon. We can tie this into what's going on with Trump. Trump is a bulldog, you know, so can you imagine him going after a man and beating them up? Now imagine him going after a woman. And
Them beat her ass too. Sure, you know, goddamn.
it becomes the same thing.
If she gets you, look, Joel, you're right. I agree. I see where you're going. You guys see where he's going with it. You know, but there are some black women, and they said there is this thing called politics. It's a game. It's some kind of a chess and checkers game, but it's a game. So if you get in it, you either know how to play the game or come up with your own method, or one way or another, it's a game. Go ahead, Joel, and then I'd like to, if possible, we can go to Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, we're in this strange era where you look at the athletes who are complaining that men are coming into the women's sports.
Like when I was young, I would not mess with my sister. Hell no. That girl beat the doo-doo out of me. And I will not mess with mama. Mama was bad, boy. I mean, man, mama would slap the crap out you and slap my whole darn black out for me. You know, that, boy, there are some women. But let's go to Kamala, and let's go to this thing that happened. This thing that happened in Atlanta, Georgia, where Donald Trump had a rally. And this black sister got up there. Joel, talk to me about that girl and what she did when she got on the stage with Donald Trump.
Again, you know, it becomes, can we actually have a logical and political debate in the old school ways? It was dignified. Remember, you had Kennedy versus Nixon. You had these formats and structures where we had a disagreement, but we were at least civilized about it. So if you look at it from the standpoint, was she polite to Donald Trump? No, she came out swinging. Not even a hello, how are you? You know, welcome to our forum. And then going at it, she started right off the bat and just went for the jugular.
Jugular? Who's jugular?
Well, she went for Donald Trump. She started listing all the things that she accused him.
You mean Kamala was?
This was not Kamala. This was the head of the Black Journalists Association.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. a lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much. And, you know, and I say this, historically, black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, you know, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love
I think
for you
it's
to
a
answer the
very
question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I
believe
have
that
answered the
black voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights
And
Act.
for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace. I really do.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then.
Now you see, black women, emotional, ask a question, give an answer, their answer, give somebody or somebody else's answer, these MSNBC, the Al Sharpton answers. You know, you invite the man to ask him one question. Why are you asking black people to support you? But before you even do that, you come up with, you said this, you said that, you said the other. Shut up, Joel.
I would hire her as my lawyer anytime.
I would not even look at her, you stupid one. She's so stupid. That was dumb.
I think when you sit back and look at she's trying to win a debate. However, she takes cheap shots.
Cheap shot.
Well, this is the way I look at Donald Trump. Those of us who are in our age group grew up with those older white men. Yes, they were racist. Yes, they said stuff that you sit back and go, that's a very, racist position. They'll say things like, I remember literally going into some of my friends' homes and their grandfather was sitting there and he'd call me over and he'd go, hey, are you a Negro or are you colored? And I am not sure.
Well, this generation doesn't understand that, So we respect that. But the National Association of Black Journalists embarrassed themselves and, frankly, embarrassed all of us to invite the candidate. First of all, on a false pretense. This is the man running for the office of the President of the United States, and you got to at least respect that. Instead, you start acting like a Jugabug. Sorry about Junebug. I didn't mean you. You know, it's those ladies. I just don't like that. I didn't like it. And I hope that a lot of black people don't pay that nonsense a chance. They embarrass themselves. The National Association of So-Called Black Journalists or National Association of Nigger Journalists.
Whoa. I wouldn't go that far.
I'll go as far as I can because I don't, you know, wisdom versus intelligence. That's as far, you know, they lost their intelligence by, you know, just.
I think that what they did was rude and unprofessional.
There was a
However,
very nice put, Joe.
Politics is always dirty. Everybody knows Donald Trump is a scrapper. He gets out there and he says
And he
things,
scrapped too.
and it got pushed back at him. You know, Donald Trump has done some things. He's talked out of turn. He's done everything. But the problem is here. This is a new situation for him. Hillary Clinton, in a weird kind of way, seemed to be an exception to the rule, and I think he was approaching this situation the same way he did Hillary. Now, Hillary, of course, is a white woman. Now you have a person of color, whether she's black or what, Indian, I don't know. But now you have
Stray dog. Go ahead.
You just have a situation where you have someone from a politically protected group where they have a chip on the shoulder, and it's very easy for Donald Trump and his personality to get trapped. Donald Trump has to be quiet in some respect, which is not his way, and understand that they're going to twist your words and everything that you say in a way that's going to make you seem like something that you may not.
That's all the reason why he keep on talking. Don't keep quiet, Donald. Keep on talking. We need you to talk.
But you know,
because you can't figure the man out if he's quiet.
Look.
Because it's those quiet people that allow for racism to take place, those quiet people that allow for genocide to take place, those quiet people that make sure that they are so quiet while their families are being killed, they're the ones that are destroying the world. Speak up, Donald. Speak up more. So, you know, but can I ask our able Junebug if you can bring out the other side of a black woman, not one from the National Association of Black Journalists, but the other side of black women who spoke at the National Convention.
Now, why don't we jump right into it? See, as a young single mother, I can tell y'all that rent is too damn high. I can tell you that as a young black voter, groceries are too damn high. And as an American citizen, period, seniors like my parents should never have to choose between medicine or food. It should never be the quality of life versus the quantity of life. Now, why don't we jump right into it? See, as a young single mother, I can tell y'all that rent is too damn high. I can tell you that as a young black voter, groceries are too damn high. And as an American citizen, period, seniors like my parents should never have to choose between medicine or food. It should never be the quality of life versus the quantity of life. And I don't want to hear, oh, but we capped the price of insulin and lowered the price of all these medicines. Yeah, but you raised the price of everything else. So it's about time to start telling the truth to Americans and let them know exactly what they're signing up for if they want to vote for Kamala Harris. We need to vote based on facts and not feelings. See, under Harris and Biden, the average Georgia household is losing $1,060 per month, and inflation is at 21.4%. And due to the war on energy, average gas prices have reached record highs for the state. We also did a poll, and 80% of us black Americans are not happy with the current state of the economy. So I'm going to need 80% of y'all to vote accordingly in November. They love me. They love me. They really love me. The left wants you to get in your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game. See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families? I wonder if Mrs. Willie Brown, a black woman, is also with her. A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage.
Whoa. Well, as a black man, I don't know if she's a black woman either. But they keep trying to change my color every time they turn around. They call me colored.
Black,
Black,
Negro,
nigger,
African American.
African American. Well, I don't know what the hell she is, but the young lady spoke clearly. If you're gonna divide the black family, which is what Camel Toe Brown has been done, if you're gonna divide it, it's a very simple process. We already know that. Al Sharpton is a divider. Al Sharpton is one of those people that are being paid by MSNBC to try to do everything that he can. But you're not listening to me. I let Joel talk to you about Al Sharpton. Come on, Joel. Tell them about Al Sharpton from what you know.
Oh, I think Al Sharpton is a race hustler. And he's been
A race hustler. A race hustler.
Yeah. He comes in, and whenever there's a controversial issue, he jumps on it and claims racism. What was that? Tawana, Raleigh, that situation.
Oh, the list goes on.
Yes. And a lot of the situations that he became involved in involved a payoff.
Payoff. He's getting paid. Hustler.
He has, over the years, made millions of dollars coming in, stirring the pot, and saying, basically, you write us a check, and I'll make sure that this goes away. Guess it worked.
That's Al Sharpton.
That's Al Sharpton.
Well, I think that young lady in Atlanta, Georgia, we thank you so much for what you said. The National Association of Black Journalists, I hope that you are listening to that kind of young lady who is speaking, and I say she is speaking independently for black people, the African Americans. For the National Association of so-called Negro journalists, black journalists, y'all did not speak for us at all. I'm saying it, and I said it clearly. Your attack on Donald Trump was stupid. Your setup was stupid. Everything that you did was stupid. And it just doesn't count, and I hope nobody heard your nonsense. We're going to go ahead on and look for something that is more interesting to us. Look, it's so simple to me, as far as I can see. Other ethnic peoples in the country, United States, pretty much take care of themselves. They're looking out for their own interests. Why is it that black people, this so-called black journalists, working for some big white person trying to make some money? We got the opportunity to attack them and an opportunity to make some money. Joel?
Ooh, that is a complicated issue. I think we went from the hands of slavery into the hands of the Democrats.
Woo! Is there a difference?
I haven't seen any productive things happen. When you look at the cities that the Democrats are running, they're in ruins. All the jobs that should be available in the black communities don't exist. If you go into a typical black community that is going through some economic crisis, you can't get a job. You go into the local Arab store, The only people that are allowed to work there are
Arabs.
you go into the local Chinese store. The only people allowed to work there.
Cheng Wang Fu.
You can be a customer, but you cannot work there. No. So when we go to our schools, they're 80% segregated. So I haven't found one victory where Black community can sit back and say, the Democratic Party has improved my life.
Not a goddamn bit. And any one of you can tell us any difference. Like, subscribe, and make your comments and send it to, my brother here, Junebug. You don't want to talk to me because I'm a little bit on the hard side? Send it to Junebug. He's such a nice, easygoing, loving, he's a brother now. Don't you get that twisted. He's a brother. But send it to Junebug.
He's a brown bear.
He's a brown brother, and he's a good brother. If you want to do it, send it to www.let'stalkabout.com. That's what it is. Okay. Donald Trump is having... We didn't really talk much about Willie Brown. Do you know Willie Brown? Have you ever heard of him?
I'm not familiar.
Oh, okay. Willie Brown was the former mayor of Los Angeles.
Okay.
Black man, lawyer, prosecutor, he was supposed to be a defense attorney, but he was representing drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, prostitutes. That's what Willie Brown was doing. Mm-hmm. Big dog. Like an Al Sharpton kind of size of a guy. Short, ugly. He's 90 years old. All due respect to you, Willie. You're 90 years old. That's pretty good for a dog like you. But, he's the one that promoted Kamala, brought her in, shaped her up.
Turned her black, I heard.
She never, he never could turn her black. Because, in those days, black men like them, what they call them again?
The red bone?
The red bones. They like them red bones for some odd reason. And Kamala Harris used all her redness or red boneness to attract real dark-skinned black men. Don't know, I can understand the black men, but I don't understand. In her case, she used that to get herself all promoted and elevated. And so Willie Brown had Kamala, had her for 2 years. Frankly, Willie Brown cheated on his wife. And now we're hearing, maybe true, maybe not true, that Kamala's husband, current husband, cheated on her too.
No way.
No, the question is, did he cheat with Kamala Harris after he divorced the husband, divorced his own wife? First you divorce your wife, maybe because of Kamala, and then you toss out your wife and you go with Kamala. But now he's admitting that he did something, as he said, did something that was a little bit inappropriate at the time that he was married. So, we're looking at that very closely. Kamala and Willie Brown.
They say politics makes strange bedfellows. I think that you can find a political sexual scandal in almost any place in the world, including here. If you look in the closets of half the people who are in the Congress, you'd probably find some pretty interesting things.
Woo! If anybody can really do some investigation, and of course I understand now that the Democratic Party is trying to change the Supreme Court. I hope that does not work, but that's what Biden is trying to do, and it seems to me that Biden wants to be commended for the release of those people that are being held prisoners across the borders, just seemed like all of them were white anyway, you know. I mean, there were no black people being released. I've never heard of any black person being released anywhere. You know, there was 3 that came in a casket, you know, and he was all, Biden was all happy about it, you know, but you know,
Let's be honest. Most of those situations possibly involve espionage. I mean, I always keep hearing these backstories of people going on camping trips in the mountains of Afghanistan. You know, what the heck are you doing there?
Well, any country in the world, you know, at least the world that we grew up in, espionage, your act of being part of an espionage, you die. You get killed. You don't get rescued. But, you know, those guys there, you see their pictures, they were rescued. Well, you know, so-called America gave up, received them, but we really haven't heard of what America gave up. You know, what good are they?
Well, it reminds me of, what was her name, Brittany Griner, when she got busted at the immigration thing in Russia.
Yeah.
I remember having 2 conversations with a couple of my friends who love to travel. And one of them was saying, is it okay, you think, if I take my chewables, you know, marijuana? I said, you're going to a 3rd world country.
And asking if you can smoke some marijuana there, you're so stupid. You know,
I
don't get it. I don't get some of these people, you know, but that didn't happen when what's that boy's name that went to North Korea?
Yeah. The little boy. Yeah, he had some issues though.
With all that stuff around his nose, you know, and his ear and all, you know, well, painted all up. He went to North Korea. The United States got pissed off. You shouldn't go unless we tell you to go. But, you know, people don't know. You can't leave America unless the white man says you can go. Am I right about that or am I wrong?
Well, you got to have a passport.
What do you say about that? Well, I mean, come on now, Junebug, can you leave America as freely as you can?
Well, just chime in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to chime in, I just wanted to say thanks for having me on the show. And also, Willie Brown was he was the mayor of San Francisco, not Los Angeles.
Oh yes, that's right, San Francisco, correct.
Just to set the record straight on that. And,
thank you so much.
And I also think that Joel was also correct. We should send, if you guys look at the screen, we should send Mike Tyson over there.
That'll straighten things out.
Send Mike Tyson over there and call him Tammy Tyson.
That'll solve the problem.
That solves the problem with the Olympic situation.
What is the problem with black men and black women, Joel? Why is it that we cannot unite as a family anymore?
Because the family has been broken up.
And who broke us up? Oh, the same people that enslaved us. The same people that wanted us as chattels and cattle and properties. You mean the Democrats?
In a perfect world, we should have had the 3 pillars of economy. You should have had the opportunity to go into law and, you know, being a secretary and all these kind of professional positions.
Mm-hmm. And be effective in it.
Then you had the trades. You know, you could become a carpenter and all these sorts of well-paying jobs. Mm-hmm. But the real meat was the manufacturing jobs. Mm-hmm. My neighborhood, everybody worked for Generous Motors.
Mm-hmm. Generous Motors, yeah.
We call them Generous. Mm-hmm. And people had beautiful homes. They were buying new cars every 3 years. It was a wonderful thing. Then somewhere about the middle of the 70s, those factories started to close. I'll never forget this. There was a local factory that employed tons of people in my neighborhood. They closed it. and they disassembled the factory. And the way they did it, we thought that they were reopening it, but then we discovered they were taking it apart. They rebuilt it in India. Those jobs have never come back. And so now when you go through the typical black community, there are no real jobs. As I said before, the only jobs left are the jobs that we are not allowed to because of our race. I can't work in a Chinese store. I can't work in an Indian subway. I can't work in a, at a Marriott
Because
hotel.
they don't want you.
It's the new discrimination. Nobody's paying attention to that. That's the thing that they don't
you
want to
are.
talk about.
But I want you to know Joel is paying attention to it. I'm paying attention to it. Junebug is paying attention to it. And you should be paying attention. There's two more things that I'd like to, bring to the table. Our black women, their emotional state of mind is just mind-boggling. But somebody, and I will not mention who, made a statement that black women are raising black boys to be black women.
Oh,
What the hell is that?
well, when you look at the new generation, they're angry. I mean, angry at everyone, even at us. Some of them don't want to talk to you, don't want to address you, how we always used to do in the previous.
Like how those black women should have addressed Donald Trump. How are you, sir? Good evening.
Yeah.
Go
Now,
ahead.
when you say hello or you are involved in a transaction, you're dealing with somebody who's really angry. And you're like, whoa, what's going on? I've been black longer than you. Tell me what. But that conversation is over.
So who's screwing those? Who's turning the? I don't mean to say, you know what I'm trying to say.
Here's the
you
ugly-
know, I'll let you know. Who is turning the key on black women to be so goddamn pissed off with black men?
Wow. That is a good question. I can only say that you have to be careful what you say around your children. If you are having difficulties, which many black families are, and you say, my baby daddy's no good, what does that do to the psyche of your children?
Of the child.
When they look at me as a representative of that sex, the black male, that is now considered the enemy.
But what about this twisting of black boys' hair to look the same as black women?
Wow.
I mean, I'm hearing things, but I don't know that it has anything to really do with our principal topic. But, the term black women raise black boys to be black men. What the hell is that?
There were always two avenues in a household. You had the male perspective, the father, and the women's perspective, the mother. If you eliminate either one of those, what is the product that you're going to turn out? A woman cannot produce anything but a woman. A man cannot produce anything but a man. If you eliminate one of those, you have a feminine perspective. So now you see young boys going around with their hair all, dolled up. They're literally, some of them are now going to beauty parlors to get their hair done. You have them walking around with their pants down, exposing their behinds. Where does that come from?
I think that comes out of prison. But there is something else I would like to, there's one more thing, two more things actually. Did you hear, or do you know, and you can Google it yourself if you want, we're here in Maryland, and it is now clear that Maryland, the state of Maryland, have more black men, black people incarcerated in their jail system, and we have a black governor.
This was long before the black governor. Just like we talked about the fact that the black community has been broken apart. What jobs are available for young black boys? What is their economic path to independence.
with no education.
It doesn't exist. You can't isolate someone in a community and say, you don't have transportation, you don't
Don't
have
have
skills,
education.
you have nothing.
So what's left for them?
Crime.
Crime.
Crime there's no application process. And the pay is pretty good.
And the pay is pretty good. Yeah, jail. That's the payment for it. And it seems like there's a lot of white people very happy about that. I'm not happy with you white people. I'm gonna let you know. They're happy about black people. Every time I turn around, I hear something about, blacks carjacking. Ain't there no white criminals in this state?
The problem is literally this. Are you providing an economy where you can have alternatives? If the only thing I can do is steal to eat, what am I going to do? I'm going to steal to eat.
I have sent a text to Donald Trump. All of you could know I'm not all that thrilled with Kamala. Go ahead, girl. I heard what you're saying. Talk to us.
Have you ever seen them walking around with nowhere to go?
I've actually seen
Got
them
the same
in
shoes.
stores.
In Denver,
I was. Go ahead.
Colorado Springs, the homeless people are American citizens.
True.
I just passed this poor brother sitting on the dang on curb over here, got on 2 damn left shoes.
Oh,
It's not funny, but dang.
it is. It is.
Have you ever, in your city, I get a lot of responses, and I am just so grateful for people who watch the videos that I post. I say these things from my heart, okay? I talk from my heart because I see the evil that has been perpetuated in this country. We are being put below millions of people who just got here.
True.
In what world is this right?
No.
This is what I'm saying. These people arrive, they get put up in luxury hotels. In New York, they get put up in hotels. Here in Denver, they get put up in hotels. In Atlanta, they get put up in hotels in Chicago. They get new housing. They are having housing built specifically for them in Massachusetts. They are getting preferential treatment everywhere.
And documents. They're becoming automatically.
We've had so many issues with.
Well, no, you see, she's so correct, and you're right, Joel. Many of them are becoming automatic citizens.
Yes.
We don't know nothing about them. We don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Junebug, what do you say?
I think it's
Okay.
a problem that we're going to have to address very soon. And I think that's going to be addressed with Vice President Harris's policies. She's going to basically just continue the Biden policies because she was the border czar, whether it's on Congress.gov. She was assigned as the border czar, no matter how much the media wants to try to clean up her past. And she's done absolutely nothing worth mentioning as the czar. And it's just going to continue her own policies or the policies of the Biden administration.
That's not good.
And it's not a good thing.
That's not good. Absolutely. Good point, Junebug. Good point. I know that we're getting ready to close. What would it take to shift black men, black votes to Donald Trump?
There's an old song from my generation that goes, "The revolution will not be televised.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I don't know exactly. It won't be in this election.
Well, I have my own logical ideas here. And let me tell you what I think that Donald Trump should be talking to black people about. Every ethnic group in America, rainbow as it seems, are getting something. Kamala Harris clearly dividing the country, no doubt about it. You're the Republicans, so you ain't shit. But if Donald Trump will listen to some of us, grown men as he is, talk to us. Talk to we black people.
I think we've been replaced.
No, you can't replace the black man. No. You can jail us, but you ain't replacing us.
If you brought in 45 million undocumented people, give them American documents that allow them to actually walk into a voting booth and say, hey, you want your little benefits to continue? Vote for these people on this paper.
Okay, that's what the Democrats are doing. I'm talking about Donald Trump. Talk to us, Donald Trump. Black people, black men, talk to us. Tell us what you're going to do for us. We've been hurt a lot more than other people. Joel, we talked about briefly talked about the black submissiveness and the Latinos' advancement.
No, I wouldn't call it necessarily submissiveness. That would probably be the word I wouldn't use. I would say that the indoctrination of Black America into a I'll agree with you, a submissive role. The Democratic Party says, we're going to give you these little benefits and we're going to put you in these areas and we're going to take care of all your needs. Mm-hmm. And your responsibility is to vote for us. And now you have
the Democratic Party is really truly, because of all the things that they have not done over the years to the black community all over the country,
yes.
Have they lost the loyalties of black voters and black people? Have we suffered enough?
It's kind of like that Ike and Tina Turner relationship. We've been abused. And sometimes abused people will still have loyalty because they're not sure what their alternatives are.
Until somebody hits you upside the head and says, look, that's enough.
Maybe we haven't been hit hard enough.
Well, black people, I think we've been hit hard enough. Gas, food, separate families.
Yeah, this new population that's coming in, the migrants, are being given amazing benefits and legal documents. They are almost going beyond. I've seen them moving into beautiful homes out in different parts of the neighborhoods that our community has been banned from.
Homeless migrants. Unbelievable. I haven't seen one.
Nope.
I don't know, But I just think that the loyalty to the Democratic Party, and I think black people ought to put that on the table of discussion and discuss it before we start casting the votes. We got about 10 seconds, and I'd like to just, in my 10 seconds, says, it's time for us to talk about it. It's time for us to go to the table and talk. God bless you.